But yeah, what are we dealing with here? What is this stuff?
Okay. And just everybody should understand that this doesn't fit a category, right? There are nutritional products, there are herb products, there are pharmaceutical products, there are mineral products. This doesn't fit a category, and I'll explain why. And to call it a product really it's patented, this intellectual property. I mean, it's not reverse engineerable. It's very, very unusual thing. I'll explain it. But to call it a product would be like, and it's not a drug, so we don't say it's pharmaceutical, but no one would call when penicillin came along, wow, what a great product. That's like a breakthrough. It's like, who's going to believe that bread mold is going to save hundreds of millions of lives, right? I mean, it's like breakthroughs come in strange packages. This one comes in a blue bottle, and the ingredients say it's made from salt and water, which it is. And there's a reason why it's made from salt and water. What's in this bottle and what's in this tube is in us. This is a simple explanation, and I'll give you a reference for people to get a little deeper if they want, but it's called redox signaling molecules made from saline, and our cells make it. But we all notice that when people are younger, they have less health issues, right? Every decade of life, we tend to decline. You don't see the big decline in the 20s, but you start seeing it in 30s and 40s. People start taking medications. They have some things that are going on, and then you get into the 50s, So when I was a kid, and when we were kids, before puberty, in our mitochondria, and there are books on this. I've got textbooks. This is a massive field of science, redox. It stands for reductant and oxidant. But when we were kids, we produce a lot. As long as we have healthy mitochondria, some populations don't. Like, for instance, people on the spectrum, their mitochondria generally is not very powerful. They have low levels of glutathione. They have leaky gut, lots of different things. But healthy children produce a lot. So when a healthy child at 10 falls off his or her bicycle, she heals quickly. She falls off her bicycle at 20, she heals, but not as quickly as 10. Falls off her bicycle at 50, might be in physical therapy for 2 years. Falls off her bicycle at 80, she's probably going to die. Well, she's producing less and less and less of this as she is getting older, just like I did. So I'm 62 now. I'm producing this much. I used to produce this much. They found a way to make it outside the body, identical to what's in me, and all, 8 billion people on the planet, we all produce it. Animals produce it. Danielle just said plants produce it. My dog drinks this. Puppies are healthier than older dogs. They produce more. So when I drink this, I raise my levels back up to what they were, right? And as far as safety goes, I just want to mention, I wrote prescriptions every day. And I had to worry about, if you were my patient, I'd have to worry about a few things. I'd say, you allergic to anything? I write the wrong prescription, I could kill you. You can't be allergic to this. It's safer than food, because I could kill the wrong person with a peanut or a glass of milk. Nobody can be allergic to this. Physically impossible. I can breathe. I put it in a nebulizer. I'm breathing it in. I can put it in my eye. It's literally going in my eye. Wow. This is safe.
Liquid put in
this
there.
Is the liquid. I put the liquid in here, right? So you can't be allergic to it. If you're my patient, I write you a prescription, might interact with another medication. I have to say, Alpa, what medications are you taking? What are you taking now? Because I have to know, right? This does not interfere with anything. So people do not have to stop. They don't have to stop. They baseline everything in their health: energy, sleep, blood sugar, mood, libido, take pictures of their skin, hair, and nails, wrinkles, cellulite, pimples, everything, and say, here's where I am today. Keep using your medicines or whatever you're using, and say that, just add this and this to it. Drink it and put this on the skin. And lastly, there's no toxicity. When you take a medication, it's not supposed to be in your body. I think we all know that medicines are great when you really need them, but to take a medicine every day for joint problems or breathing problems, that medicine's not supposed to be in you. If you take too much of it, your liver can't metabolize it fast enough, and the toxicity builds up, and you'll get sick. Your liver will shut down, your kidney will shut down. Eventually, it'll kill you. Every medicine has a lethal dose. Remember, this is a different category. This is not a medicine. It's not metabolized by the liver. If you drink too much of it, your body turns the excess back into what it was, which is saline. And the reason your cells make it from saline, and the way the company makes it from saline, is because our cells are filled with salt water. So when people say, oh, it's just salt water, Well, you get a 13-year-old company that's done $1 billion in sales. It's in 34 countries. They're double-blind studies. And there's a quick way with the gel to prove to anybody it's not saline. But the reason it's made from salt and water is because our mitochondria float in saline. Our cells are filled with salt and water. When you cry, it's salty. When you sweat, it's salty. When you go to the hospital and they give you an IV bag, they don't give you water, they give you saline. So people it's funny, Danielle, you said people can find whatever they're looking for on Google, right? You're looking for something pro-vaccine, you'll find it. You find something looking for something negative vaccine, you find it. You find something pro whatever. It's like, this is an easy thing to prove that it works, and I can show you in a minute, but it's as safe as water. And what this does is, I'll just mention 3 things and then I can give you a reference. 1, it raises your levels of antioxidants, glutathione, SOD, and catalase. And anybody that knows what glutathione is, it's like the holy grail. If you can raise glutathione, you got me, I'm getting it, right? 2, a double-blind study, placebo-controlled study, proves that it turns genes back on. So we all know the term epigenetics. Our genes turn off as we get older, and then we become exposed to the things that our ancestors had, our parents, our grandparents. So my dad had gout, my grandfather had gout, I'm going to have gout, right? I used to treat gout all the time in my office, but gout usually comes on like in the 40s. Well, the genes had turned off enough that you get exposed. You have the problem with the foods that you eat. It's called genetic expression. And it's the genes tell our cells which proteins to produce, and that decreases as we get older. Double-blind, placebo-controlled study, just 8 weeks. Now, not everybody feels the changes in 8 weeks, but this study proved that everybody's getting benefit, because these very important genes that control our inflammation pathways in our body, hormone pathways in our body, digestive pathways, innate immune system. So our genes turn off. In the innate immune system, by the way, with the craziness the world's had the last 3 years, we have 2 immune systems. One is called the innate immune system. That's the one that deals with infections and things that people catch from other people, right? Who did better in this whole thing? Who is more at risk with this whole thing? Older people or younger people? Older people are more at risk. And any doctor will, you say, well, why, doctor? Because their immune systems aren't as strong. Well, why is that? I don't know. Well, one of the reasons is their genes have turned off as they got older, and they've become more exposed to these things. This turns the genes back on. So that's another thing. And the last thing is, it seems it's a signal amplifier. So our body's made up of trillions of cells, right? And our cells are healthy in my retina. If they're healthy, I don't go blind. But if I have a lot of unhealthy cells in my retina, I go to the doctor and I say, I can't see. They look in my eye, they say, you got retina problems. Well, it's my cells that are not good, but their answer isn't, let's fix the cells. Their answer is, we're going to inject your eyeball every month with steroids. I go to the doctor, I'm thirsty, or I'm urinating all the time. Oh, Dr. Silverman, your labs came back, your blood sugar is 600. You need metformin. You need insulin. Yeah. They're not addressing my bad cells in my pancreas. Well, we all have cells that are dying constantly. They get replaced with good ones. If you have cells dying in your pancreas right now, you say, why don't you have diabetes? Because your body gets rid of the bad cell and replaces it with a good one. And so you don't have diabetes. How does it happen? That's why I went into medicine. The whole thing fascinates me. This cell starts to die. This cell detects the problem, calls for help. The immune system's cells get the signal. It's a signal. They come down, they kill the cell. It's called apoptosis, cell suicide. Dissolves it, it gets carried away in the lymph system, and the good cell replicates itself. So what do redox molecules do in the body? They amplify the signal. So the more you have, the louder the signal for help. So a child falls off the bicycle, breaks bone cells, they heal quickly because the signal is so loud. But if you have less redox molecules when you're 50, instead of it being help, help, it's help, help. At 80, it's help, help. When you drink this, you are simply amplifying the signal. So when people say, oh, I look at these people sharing what it did with, they were hit by a drunk driver. This person had blood sugar. This person had breathing problems. This person had sleeping problems. This person had immune problems. This person has infertility problems. How could one thing do all of that? It's because it amplifies signal and it turns genes back on, which is why I said it's much more than just a product.
I think you should call it the screamer, really.
Yeah, right?